Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome to another exciting episode of Elevation with Chris Oram, the show where we talk to individuals who have climbed the ladder of success. Today, we have episode 23, and we have a very special guest in the building, and that is Justin Fresh-Tat. And he's here today to tell us about Kearns Capital, all he's working on in terms of social media marketing, what he's working on in terms of his private equity funds, and I know we have a publicly traded company he was dying to tell us about. So without a further ado, I'll welcome Justin to the show. Thanks for being here, brother.
Hey, man. It's great to be here. I'm excited to dive into all this stuff.
Cool, man. Hey, so you're pretty fresh to Vegas, so no pun intended with the last name there, but you've been here, you were telling me, just about 2 years. So what's that been like for you?
It's been great.
Yeah?
I mean, I don't have to check the weather. I know I'm not going to get rained on every day, which is great, coming from the Mid-Atlantic out in D.C., so
nice.
Lots to love, you know. Government stays out of your way. It's low taxes. I mean, what's not to love about this place?
Very cool. And you got some nice property you were telling me about in Sky Canyon. That's the new spot where you're living. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we seem to keep drifting further and further away from society in the middle of the city. Yeah, we started in Henderson, then went to Summerlin, and then eventually decided, okay, we're going to build in Sky Canyon up in the mountain. It's kind of like the back of Mount Charleston up there.
Nice. That's dope, dude. And you're telling me you like to be outside. Do you ever venture off to the strip? Like, is partying your thing, or is that not on your radar?
Not as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I like a good day club, you know, if I'm going to do it. But yeah, you won't find me out late at night.
Gotcha. Yeah. Early to bed, early to rise. I'm kind of with that mindset too. I hit you up this morning. Like, first thing I thought about is like, oh, gotta confirm. Let him know I'll be there. Like. And I hit you up at like 4:45. I started personal training today with my buddy Wyatt. We're gonna get jacked this summer, you know.
Let's go.
Yeah, bro.
Gotta do it.
So I guess let's start out. So you've been in Vegas for a little bit, and you're running some hedge funds, and this is like relatively new, same kind of time period, maybe a little bit before you moved to Vegas. You're working door-to-door sales, and then you kind of transitioned, and now, I mean, this has been your glow-up period. I mean. You're glowing up on Instagram. It seems like you're glowing up in life, and that's like kind of the whole premise of the show, Elevation with Chris Oram. So tell us about like what you're working on in terms of how you're growing your finances. Maybe what business ventures are you working on?
Yeah, we got a lot going on the public and private side. So the public side is new for me. This is my first publicly traded company I've been a part of, which has been just an incredible experience.
And what's the name of it?
Safe Space Global. The stock ticker is SSGC.
Okay.
Yep. So. It's a great mission. It's using AI multimodal technology to help save lives in schools, prisons, healthcare facilities. And from the financial side, AI SaaS companies command the highest multiple in the market. So tons of growth potential, addressable market's massive, and we've got an incredible team. So it's been a nice ride. I joined in January, and the stock was somewhere around 20 cents, and we're already up to 159 was the high last week. So it's moving.
So it sounds like, you know, you're relatively new to the publicly traded things. It sounds like you're willing to take risks and try new things. And I think often people don't try that because they have worries about like what's going to happen if I fail or something. But you don't see, I mean, it seems like you don't worry about those emotions that you have and you push past anyways. So talk to me about kind of like how you're learning how to do something in the publicly traded sector that's highly regulated. How are you handling doing things that you might not be 100% sure on and not making giant mistakes?
Well, you are going to make giant mistakes. I think that's you have to make the first giant mistake to realize that that's kind of the recipe to this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it sounds great what you just said, but there was 10 years where I wouldn't take risk, you know, where I stayed in a vehicle that was never going to get me to where I wanted to be financially, professionally, like all the things. And through forced innovation, us selling that company when I had to go figure out the next thing. I was kind of forced to go take shots and figure it out. And through that process, you know, it took us 10 years to build a $10 million company. And then the next 12 months after that, we built a $20 million company. So I guess the biggest lesson out of it, and then we lost the whole thing. So it was like, wow, in the last 2 years, I've climbed a mountain I never dreamed of, fell all the way down to the bottom, and here we are doing it again. And you just start to realize that failure is the recipe. So now I get excited. Like when people are in entrepreneurship and they're not where they want to be yet, I used to be like, oh, I hope it works out for you. Now I'm like, I hope you fail. It's like, I hope you take a big L and realize that the world is not coming to an end. You're okay. And you can start again from a place of no fear.
It's hard always making the right decision and knowing what to do and how to keep moving forward. But like, you just kind of have to keep thinking like optimistically in that case. So one thing just like that pops into my mind while you were talking is that like it sounds like you live like an adventuring life. So like one thing is like a way to know that is in your camera roll. If you're doing things like every day that's like dope, like what my daily life is dope. So I go through periods of life where like, you know, I'm going out, I'm meeting with people, I'm going out and experiencing the world, and like those are my good periods, and like it reflects that in your camera roll. Like sometimes you might have a dry period where like your camera roll really isn't like looking adventurous like your ideal life. But it sounds like, I mean, you were telling me, where have you been in the last 2 weeks or the last
like
month?
5 different cities. It's hard to even put it all together. Living so fast, meeting so many incredible people, doing so many shows like this. And you start to realize that that's what it's all about. It's about the people, the experiences you can have, meeting it's just hard to imagine that this is actually what my life looks like compared to 3-4 years ago.
And then, so, I mean, I imagine you have a lot of like friends on social media.
Yep.
Is it demanding on your time to respond to many DMs? Like, I don't know, I don't want you to have to give a number, but I'm sure you're having lots of conversations with lots of people on lots of different fronts, Instagram, email, like text message. You got a lot going on. Like, does that become too much for you, or this is what you wanted?
No, it's what I wanted. I love talking to people. I love the relationship aspect. Like when people ask me what I do, whether it was Heartland Foods or publicly traded company or real estate private equity or the social media marketing business, it's all a people game. Yeah. So I love that I get to spend all my time in conversations with people, whether it's virtually or in the real world. So I've become a master of capacity and efficiency in terms of, like you said, like we were DMing at 5 a.m. this morning, right? And it doesn't matter if I flew in and got home at 1, 2 in the morning. Like there's just execution and there's nothing emotional about it. Yeah. So if you really audit your time, and I'm a slave to my calendar, it's got to be scheduled. If the calendar invite's not there, it isn't happening. Yeah. Right? Because I'm moving from one thing to the next, and in between, it's like answering DMs or getting caught up on the text messages. Like this hour we do this podcast, there will probably be somewhere around 100 things to handle when I'm done. Yeah. And I'll go home, have dinner, and then we're going to execute until I go to bed and wake up and execute again. Like that's just what it takes if you're going to play at a high level.
Do you have responded DMs like in your calendar? That's a calendar event?
No. That's just done when there's gaps.
Gaps, gotcha. Yeah. So your calendar every day, like you're booked from morning till dawn?
Yeah, like this morning.
Till dusk.
Yeah, so some of these companies, they're all in different time zones, right? The publicly traded companies out of Central Time. Yeah. So our executive meeting was at 9 a.m. this morning Central. Well, that's 7 for me, right? Yeah. And some days that's a 6 a.m. Zoom meeting, right? So yeah, and like today we're scheduling one with a company that's overseas where we're gonna have to meet with them between 10 p.m. Pacific and 3 a.m. Pacific. It's like that's just what it takes sometimes. Yeah.
And are you taking the level of prioritization to responding to everyone that needs to be responded to that day? Do people slip through the cracks in that case scenario?
It will stack up.
Yeah.
Right. But I get to it when I get to. Like that's the beautiful thing about the filter of unread. Yeah. Right. Because I also have managers that work the back of my DMs for outbound. Yeah. So there's a ton of traffic going through there. Yeah. And a lot of it's group chats, friends, family, and stuff. And like sometimes I just don't have the capacity to look at that. I prioritize what's important for the main thing.
And are you using specific systems and processes to go ahead and like dive through, your email channel, your Instagram channels?
Yeah, it's if I'm going to sit down and do it, we're going to do it. We're going to hit the unread button and execute until it's over. Okay. It's just, I don't know if it's rocket science. It's just how I operate.
And it's all like, are these nurturing leads? Are you selling in the DMs? Are you answering people's questions? Are you talking to are you just having conversations, or all of the above?
It's all those things. And if it's a good conversation, you can kind of tell right away like where someone's mindset is, and if you want to continue the conversation, maybe check out their profile and see, okay, where are the synergies? Is it something that somebody I can help, somebody that can help me? It's just connecting dots. Yeah. And if you're genuinely curious to connect dots and you're not just on there to sell or, audit like how much money am I making for my time, the genuine curiosity of just building relationships and seeing where they go, I think is the key thing to success.
Yeah. So I saw that you were the president of sales at your company. So that means you know a thing or two about sales. So let's say someone hits you up on an Instagram DM and they say, "Hey, what's up?" Like, what do you respond to that? Like,
yeah, what's good? What's happening?
And then you just kind of wait to, what if they don't respond back? They like, do you go to from the mindset like they weren't buying anything anyways? Or like,
I won't even know because it won't pop back up.
yeah.
There's hundreds of those.
Gotcha.
Right? And you know the common ones that
Yeah.
you don't want to answer.
Yeah. What are the common ones you don't want to answer?
The guy in front of a Lambo saying, "Hey, I love your profile. Let's talk about promotion. Let's talk about."
Yeah.
It's like the number one rule of first DM
Yeah.
is no sales breath.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
have no initiative other than connecting.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if you want a conversation, that's what you would do.
So if someone's trying to sell to you, how do they get on your radar? Like, are you receptive to jumping on a call with anyone for anything? Like, do you like has anyone jumped in your Instagram DMs with a great offer? You were like, fuck, like I'm gonna jump on a call. I'm actually interested to learn more.
Yeah, I mean, if I respect their approach,
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because I can tell if you're a valuable person by your approach.
Yeah.
Right? And I may not want to buy anything from you. I just might want to connect with you.
Yeah.
Right? And I think having a long view on relationships, there are people that I'm doing business with today that I did that with 5 years ago on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think most people are prejudging and they have a microwave mentality of like, what's going to happen today with this relationship, instead of saying, you know, like somebody with a great approach that's getting started. I'll get on Zoom with kids that are 20 years old that have no idea what they want to do in life, but I see something in them where I'm like, you're probably going to be a valuable person and I want to know you. I want you to know me for when the time is right. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing in 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, this relationship has been like honestly growing for like a year. Like we linked up, you were friends with Sean Michael Crane, who I know from the Wes Watson, Bedros Keuilian mastermind. And then I had ran into you at we were talking about the event, the Maverick Center event in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I forget what the name, Andy Frisella was there. It was
that was the Limitless event.
Yeah. It was hella dope. Honestly, the lineup for that, incredible.
Insane.
Yeah, so shout out to Sean. I know he's coming to town in September. I'm going to a Tommy Mello event. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, Brian Tommy.
Yeah, the A1 Garage Door guy. So I'm going to his home services event. I'm fascinated by home services.
He's a beast.
Bro, that guy is an absolute monster. I read his book. He's one of my like home service heroes for sure.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that. So let's talk. I mean, I don't know how you consider yourself on Instagram, but like you have followers, you have engagement, right? You have some skills in terms of social media, especially Instagram.
Yep.
So you have an offer in terms of Instagram. Talk to me about what your offer is, how you figured out that Instagram is game, and what you're doing and playing around on the platform.
Yeah, it's interesting how it all got started. I knew I needed to build my brand. I was seeing all these kids that were 10 years younger than me, just crushing it, making millions of dollars from their phones.
Yeah.
So I was curious to learn that. And this was when we were exiting the organic food company, which we did for over a decade. So I'd done one thing all in for so long in the real world, right? It was like we did everything from billboards, TV, call centers, canvassing, all of it, direct mail. It's like all the old school marketing. And I saw a huge opportunity with social media. So I knew I needed to do it. And I found these guys and I hired them to build my brand. And now we're partners in several businesses. So that's kind of how it got started. But, they built all these relationships with celebrities and influencers, and we can leverage those audiences to build brands essentially out of thin air.
Yeah.
And all that does is give you the credibility to go do something, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who, like, even if you're getting organic traction, you're getting millions and millions of views, we get a lot of people come to us and say, I'm not making any money. I'm like, yeah, because creating content and getting millions of views is like standing on the side of the highway with a bill, with the sign. Yeah. It's not going to do anything. So what it does is it gives you the credibility to then go target it in DMs, pull the right people into the brand for what you're trying to accomplish, whether it's networking, sell a product, whatever. And that's how we do it. So I duplicated their system and started raising capital and raised $10 million the first year without spending $1 on ads. So I'm a huge believer in build a brand that's credible so that when you send someone a DM, they want to answer it.
Yeah. So I see Instagram as like an incredible tool, and there's so many cool things about Instagram, but one of my favorites is that Instagram can be uniquely used by different people. So, you post a lot of like podcast reels, right? That's kind of like your bread and butter, or like reels, right? That's your preferred content. I'm going to try a different approach here soon where it's kind of like a lifestyle, like a high status lifestyle shoot. So it's more like just to show off visual, like beautiful photos and like cool spots. There's a style like I don't know if you're familiar with Michael Sartain. He lives out here in Vegas.
Yeah, I met him before.
It's like a MOA, like Michael Sartain style.
We were on
photo.
the same flight back from that Limitless event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like that type of thing, and I'm just interested to see what that works because like you can network with so many people from Instagram. I think that's like the coolest part of Instagram.
It's the ultimate networking tool there is. That's literally everything that I've done is because of the networking that takes place on that platform. My new partners, the publicly traded I'm on the board of, none of that happens without the Instagram.
But you have to have a good Instagram. Like if you had 54 followers and 2 photos, one of your cat and one of you at Disneyland, you know, your partners wouldn't take you seriously, even if you were even more of a stud than you already are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
correct, yeah.
And that's sad, but that's the reality, right? Like, I think people need to live in the reality where Instagram is king.
It's so important you say that. People's emotions and the way they want the world to be is why they're not successful. They don't play it as it lies. It's like crying because you hit the ball in the rough. No, just take the club that does well from the rough. Like, get over it, right? It's like people who are just pounding content. They have no followers, and they're like, well, I would never invest in growth campaigns. I would never put money behind my brand because that's not authentic. And I'm like, well, you will automatically lose to someone like me who does build the brand.
Yeah.
That's the landscape. I would love it for it to be the other way.
Yeah.
That's not reality.
And you look around, you're like, what I'm doing isn't working. Like what he's doing is working. Like, yeah, there is a cost of pay to play. But and Jason Wojo, I was just telling you about it. Like everyone's an entrepreneur till the invoice comes.
Yep.
I was just thinking like every problem I have in life comes because it's too much money. Like anything, you know, a $5 whatever is no problem. It's because, you know, that's easy money. But as soon as the ticket price starts getting higher and higher, it's like, oh, that's a problem. Like, ooh, like the problem only comes when the invoice is there. And I'm like, fuck, like that's so true. And that's why you touched on it earlier. Like that's why I am realizing I need to find a different vessel. Like what I'm currently doing is capped, right? Like I can never get to where I actually want to get. Like I just went to the Fletcher Jones dealership like 2 days ago, and I was like, fuck. Like I need to get some more capital, you know, like that spot's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, this is like people that all the time, like just how I know you're never going to be successful. If you say like, oh, I don't have the money for it or that's expensive. It's like, you already talked yourself out of success. I remember when I didn't have the money, you know what I did? I went and figured out a way to borrow it. Yeah. Right. I went into $50,000 of debt, building the new business, going out to raise capital, not knowing if it was going to work. Like if you can't put it on 0% credit cards and bet it all, like you just shouldn't be in the entrepreneurship game. Like,
bro, can I tell you? Maybe in the last 6 months, I got put onto the 0% credit cards, and it's for like 18 months. I didn't know that shit existed, and like,
if I do it every year.
Yeah, bro,
even now,
that's fire. Like, especially if you can get like a pretty high credit limit, it's fire.
Yeah, it allows you to live 12, 18 months in the future. Yeah. That's what people don't understand. Like even if I have the cash, the cash is going to get invested. I'm going to get as much 0% money the credit card companies are going to give me, spend that to, you know, push the initiative forward, whether it's travel, whether it's, you know, money for the brand, like whatever it is, it's like, go be resourceful. Like this, you don't need money. You just need resources.
Yeah. And you got to believe, like it's belief in yourself.
Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't work, guess what? You'll go bankrupt and it'll be okay. You get to start again.
Yeah, but be smart about it is my thing. Like, at least know when your due date's coming up. At least have some common sense. You know,
don't miss payments and ruin your credit score.
Yeah, we're not pushing irrationality here, but we are pushing using debt as leverage, of course.
It's the mindset. Yeah, really, it is. It's like if you're scared of spending $100, you're never going to make 200. If you're scared of spending $5,000, you're never going to make 50. It's like there's a direct correlation to how big you can go with how big you'll risk.
Yeah. And I mean, right now, like there's a purchase that I need to make that I don't want to make. I got to spend like $800 on like a camera. I don't know if you got any opinions? The Osmo Pocket 3, you ever seen this one?
No idea, but I do have an opinion on the topic.
Buy it?
Well,
buy both? What?
Well, so the number one person that should do it is someone who has a W-2, right? Because what people don't understand, like if you have a W-2 income, that means that if you start an LLC, they flow both directions. The government's withholding the money over here on your W-2. So anything you spend in your LLC, you can have print a loss your first year in business and directly write it off from the W-2 side, right? So it's like it actually doesn't cost you anything to do that.
Yeah. I'll have to pick your brain more about that because I'm not doing that and I probably should be doing that.
Right. People will pay taxes instead of spend it on themselves.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll definitely hit you up for that because I feel like that's probably the basics, like 101 that I'm not doing, and that's not me being efficient with my money or capital or whatever.
Yeah, that's how I got started. I still had a W-2, started the LLC, pouring tons of money into it. I think my business lost like 60 grand that first year.
Yeah.
I don't know what the withholdings were on the W-2 side, but it was enough to offset it where it didn't kill me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, these are the strategies you need and the mindset shift to get started.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, what got you started? Like, why did you try and become someone? Did you want, is it money? Is it, I feel like a lot of people do it for money. Like, that's one of the main drivers. I mean, you wanted nice things in life, or what were you doing it for?
Yeah, I think the lack of money is infuriating to me.
Yeah.
To have to decide if you're going to get the steak or the chicken. Like, to even look at the price on the menu.
That shit pisses me off, yeah.
Right? Like, use that as fuel. Like, that's what it was for me. It was like, it just pissed me off. Like, see a nice car, I'm like, oh, I'll never have that. Like, what? No, I got to go figure out how to get it. And if you can, you must. And I figured I could figure it out. You know, I always looked at statistics differently than people. I think this is really important because if you look at macro statistics, you'll never do anything. Something like 75,000 households in the U.S. have a $25 million net worth or more. So that's like, what, 0.0001? Yeah. Most people would look at that and say, well, there's no chance. Yeah. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, 75,000 people figured this out. I can do it.
Yeah. If one person does it, you can do it.
Right. You have to be away from the herd mentality to do anything, above average.
Bro, anyone at like your job that tells you that like, oh, you shouldn't stop dreaming, you're thinking too big, like, bro, those are the most dangerous people to be around. Like, those are the people you need to like run the other way. And I think oftentimes it can happen in your environment too. Like your family members can often like really have you thinking small, and like you say like, hey, I'm going to make this risk or this investment on myself. And they're like, oh no, you shouldn't do that. And then you start thinking like, hey, maybe I shouldn't do it, but you got to go all in. Like, I can't even like really talk to some people about things like, because I really just like don't want to hear what they have to say. Like,
yeah, I don't anymore.
Like blatantly, like respectfully, politely, like I don't care. Like, it's happening whether you like it or not.
Yeah, like I'll say it here because no one's listening to this unless they have a growth mindset.
Yeah.
But the things that I'm doing, like, there's no chance I'm going to talk about it in front of people that have a closed, fixed mind state. It's just going to complex them. It's going to bring my energy down. I've learned that the hard way. I mean, I've seen more dreams killed by friends and family that love you than anything else.
Yeah.
Because they want to protect you, and you're trying to do something that they've never done. They're not going to understand it.
Yeah, the old way of 10 years ago, I mean, like our parents' guidance, like, really, I don't think in Las Vegas in this current time frame, like, you can get a way nicer spot, like buying a house. Like, you can rent a spot and like way nicer spot for the money you can buy it. Like, that's my current thing that I'm dealing with. And it's like, my real estate friends are saying, oh, but you're wasting your money. You're throwing away the equity. They have a point, but like, I get the point, but I'm still going to do whatever.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I think that answer is different depending on the market.
Yeah.
Homes have never been less affordable than right now in terms of the asset values are stretched and the interest rates are stretched. So the discrepancy between what it costs to rent and own, like, you're an idiot if you buy a house right now.
Yeah.
Unless you have, exponential amounts of wealth, there are certain reasons to buy a house.
Yeah.
But if you're someone that's trying to build something, a business or whatever, you need to keep your cash flow tight.
Yeah.
So rent until like, it's such a small mentality, right? Your business is going to go blow up. You're going to make millions of dollars. It's not going to matter if you got $100,000 of equity because you bought a house today and you kept it for 10 years. It's like, it's just such small thinking.
Yeah. There's so many like arguments like why you shouldn't do that. And I mean, like, if you blow up, then your house is going to be like way less than you actually want. So, in my price point now, like, I couldn't afford anything I actually wanted to like purchase. It's crazy. Like,
and if you did make that decision, that would completely restrict your ability to build.
I'm locked in and I regret it, dude. Some of these things, like, so a home price that's going for like the median or average home price, like your $500,000 home, some of them are disgusting. Like, I wouldn't want to live there. Like, I'd rather go live in an apartment than own this house. Like, my big thing of why I want to own is to make it a smart home. So I can like run wire in, install projectors, like speakers in the ceilings, like, but for a $500,000 home, like people don't do that. They do it for the $3 million homes and up, you know, like I'm trying to trick out this $500,000 house with, you know, 100,000 of technology. Doesn't make sense, you know?
I mean, it could make sense.
It makes sense.
If it makes sense for you.
Me, yeah.
You know, that's why there's just no box with all this stuff, you know, because most people should buy a house.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, you know, for someone who doesn't have big dreams of aspirations of entrepreneurship and they have a fixed salary, the smartest thing you can do is buy a home.
Yeah.
Because if you do that once every 5 years and then just rent it out, like you'll be worth millions of dollars in 30, 40 years and it'll all be paid off and you retire, and there's no better investment for the average person.
For Vegas, it just blew up. It's so like unaffordable. Like since COVID, it just doubled. Everything doubled. I mean, like life kind of doubled. And I mean, that's the reality. Like, I could either do one of two things. I could be like, it's too expensive, I'm moving, or I could figure it out and make more money, and like eventually I'd like to buy a home, or not. Like I see that as like you're gonna die. Like, who cares if you own a house? Like, I do understand like at some point it's gonna pay for itself. I get it. But you're gonna die, and you really don't get to take your house to wherever you go after, heaven, wherever.
Yeah. Offense is always the answer.
Yeah. All right, dude. So let's talk about like social media strategy. Like, are you posting every day? What are you doing? Reels, stories?
Yeah, I think stories are really important. Every single day.
Are you tagging a link to stories for someone to go do something?
Sometimes, yeah.
Check out, like, is it always a selling thing, or is it check out me on this podcast? Or
yeah, it's all the above, right? You don't want to do too many offers.
Yeah.
I try to limit it to one every 4 or 5, and not every day. But I think stories are where you should just live out loud. So, you know, if we're touring a site and we're raising money, I'm going to tag it and say, looking for investors. If I'm having fun and we're doing a podcast, like, get off, like, we finish this, like, I'm throwing a picture up. That's what we did, right?
Yeah.
So I think people overthink it. Just live out loud. If you're with your family, like, put it up there. If you're at a restaurant you like, put it up there. I mean, people, and don't take days off. Like, people, that story being at the front when somebody gets on there is a matter of your consistency and them wanting to continue to follow you. Yeah. So I concentrate on the stories way more than the content.
Yeah, I think
content's
so too.
kind of, I've never seen any correlation into the amount of content I put out and how much money we make from the brand. It's about how many people I talk to in DMs and how my stories perform.
Do you see like the reels like that were super popular from 2 years ago, the Alex Hormozzi's? Do you still see those as valuable? Yes or no?
I do, but when Alex Hormozzi does them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the entrepreneur part of the platform is such a small niche. It's so hard to perform in that angle. So that's why so many solopreneurs value content like this. Like, most of the world doesn't want it. Yeah. You know? So I think you still need to do it, but just understand, like, it's not going to drive your brand unless you're, you know, the top, which social media is now a professional sport. Like, the highest paid content creators are making more than all the other professional athletes. So you're competing in the most high octane competitive sport. So for you to think you're going to run your business over here and just, you know, chop up some reels and build a brand is it's asinine, right? It's not going to happen. So unless you're going to be a full-time content creator and absolutely pound the platform, study it all day and night, all the virality stuff and all the angles, all the hooks, like, unless you're committed to that, like, you need a different angle. And that's what we do at Currents Marketing. We're going to make you successful whether your content sucks or not.
And is it by you know, networking with other folks, or like, what's the key?
It's leveraging people who do have big brands.
Gotcha.
Right. So like, we did a collab with Floyd Mayweather last month. He puts up a post with a bunch of signed memorabilia, and he's like, hey, one of my followers is going to win all this. All you got to do is follow this list of accounts, and overnight I can steal 30,000 followers from Floyd's brand that are all real people to anyone. Yeah. Right. So now you've got your following, and it's like, oh, but those people aren't, you know, in the market for my content. Yeah, I know. Who cares? You're not trying to sell them anything anyways. Now, when you do talk to someone in a DM and you do cold outreach and you got a blue check, you got a following, you got good content, they want to talk to you. Now you're on Zoom and you can get your targeted sale or relationship, whatever you want to happen. So I think people approach the platform the wrong way. Like, all the vanity metrics, all the content is just your biography when you meet people and you're talking to people.
Yeah. So are you trying to build basically you're trying to build status of the page.
Yeah.
That's your
Undeniable
strategy.
credibility in your niche.
Okay, interesting. Because, I was telling you about Michael Sartain. I mean, like, status is the number one thing he talks about. Like, he's traditionally building it. I mean, there's social circle, but it's traditionally in terms of, like, the dating space, like, how to be the highest status person. And I think, like, one, Instagram, there's multiple ways to do it. Like I was saying, like, I'm going to try a different way to do it. But essentially, we are going to be doing the same thing. We're trying to build the highest credibility possible, the highest sort of status IG page, like with blue check mark followers and good content, whether that be, for me, one for you.
Every little detail matters.
Yeah.
I mean, how is your bio crafted? Do you have to hit the more button to see what's underneath? Like all these things that people don't pay attention to.
What's your link? Like when I click your link, what's your link in your bio right now?
It's going to go to a Link Me page.
A Link Me page, and like what's on that page?
So what I like about Link Me is it's kind of a little landing page.
It's like Linktree, or
but except it's
better.
Your bio's there. There's your picture in the background. It's more of a landing page version of a Linktree.
Gotcha.
And you can do bigger icons, smaller icons, depending on what you want people to focus on.
Book a call, is that on there with you?
Yeah, I got a book a call link.
Is there book a call for different like things we can book a call for? Like what can we book a call for?
Yeah, you could book a call for Kearns Marketing. You could book a call for Pitch Equity, which is our private equity real estate fund. Then I've got the website linked there for Safe Space Global. So everything that I'm doing is right there, but also in the bio, every single business has its own Instagram page. And people don't really follow businesses like they follow people, but you should still have it so they can click the @ in the bio and go see it, right?
Yeah.
And there's it's targeted content there, right? So you're just giving people options to get to know you and everything you're involved with.
And then you get a great profile picture. You have that professionally done or what?
Headshot.
Yeah. And it's definitely worth it. Like I forget, are you smiling with teeth or no teeth?
Oh yeah, big smile.
Big smile. That's your thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of people like the Hermosi style? They're doing like kind of your face with like a colored background behind you. Like that's what I'm trying to do. Like that's what I'm trying to do on my spot. I need to make some improvements. But
I think it's just an authenticity thing. Like whatever speaks to you. The one thing you can't do is put your company logo there because you don't want to be seen, or put some AI thing like.
Yeah. You
have to be on the platform. You have to let people know you. You do that in your authentic way, but when you try to hide from who you are and still play in this space, you're dead on arrival.
Some people can be successful with like an anonymous one. Like I follow like some thought leaders on like Twitter in terms of like an anonymous page. And they
might work on Twitter.
Yeah.
I have not seen it work on Instagram.
Yeah, no, Instagram's more like what would you say to someone if they're not like a looker on Instagram? Like keep doing it anyways. Like Instagram is more like visually appealing. I mean, let's say if someone's just like not a looker, should they improve on themselves? Is that your advice?
Yeah, I would say go fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, like people who like don't fix their teeth if they're jacked up, or like don't groom well, or like don't. It's like it's not like I've seen a homeless guy in a suit that looks terrible. Like it's not about whether you wear a t-shirt or a suit or any of this stuff. It's about how you do it.
Yeah. Interesting take. I mean, like for sure. I mean, what about if your content looks like you recorded it on your iPhone 10 rather than your DSLR camera? Like what should I do in that case? Because that shit makes a difference. And that if your content specifically if your audio quality is terrible, if it like looks like garbage, I mean, no one's going to watch that, right?
Yeah, people are going to bounce, but it also has to be engaging.
Yeah.
Right? If you have great cameras, but the content's terrible, I don't think they're going to watch it either. But the other side of it's the tech side of it. If you use crappy cameras and it gets, or the number one thing I see is people recording podcasts on Zoom and then using that and clipping it. Yeah. It doesn't even record in 1080, so the algorithm grades it poorly, and it wouldn't matter if it was the greatest content ever. It's not getting distributed.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Like podcasts in persons are just so much better. Like I'm happy we were able to make this work. I just started doing like virtual recently. I mean it's cool to like engage with more people. Like just talked to a gentleman out of Toronto. Like we would never have that conversation if not. But I mean I love where we're doing this at now. I think this is one of the greatest studios. I mean like. There's a lot of good studios around. I'm sure in Miami, I'm sure you've been to the one that everyone does it at. What's it called? The Drop or whatever?
I don't know. I don't think I was there.
No?
No, the two shows I did 2 days ago in Miami were like they had studios in their own spot. Like one was in their office, the other one was in a guy's house.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So, do you have a number of how many podcasts you've done? A lot.
Yeah, hundreds.
You got your own at this point or no?
No, I don't. And that's one of the things I recommend people don't do in the beginning, unless like this is the thing you want to do.
Yeah.
You're way better off building your brand and then guesting on other shows where audiences have already been built.
Yeah.
When you start from scratch, like you're talking to no one, it's going to take a long time to get momentum and build it.
And if you're talking like you want to go on, like if someone wants to work with your offering and build their brand, how much capital do they have to come to you with? Like how much does it cost to build your brand? Because it's going to cost something. So
if you were starting from scratch, like no follower, like if we were literally like building your account, like making the login and starting from zero, I think you'd only have to spend like $4,000 and it would take 3 months. We would have over 20,000 followers, wonderful content, tons of engagement. And in that package, we would start monetizing with DMs. So this is not expensive. Like that's the setup fee normally for like if you want to run ads or something. And that's another thing people do is they'll go run ads without the brand. It's like, no, build the brand first. So now when people see your ad and they go look at your profile, you're credible.
Yeah.
So I think it's the first thing you do no matter what. Even if this is the other thing people say, well, I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I'm going to do it when. It's like, no, you totally missed it. You need to build it before you have any clue what you want to do with it so that every single person gets to see the whole journey. That's what makes people fall in love with your story. They have to see it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not like show up after I built it. Like it makes no sense.
So it's safe to say you love Instagram?
I would say so.
How has Instagram impacted your life?
Oh, man. It's everything. I mean, without it, I'd be doing none of the things I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's how I've met all my partners. It's how I've built all the businesses. It's how I've met all these incredible people. It's another thing that's really cool about building a brand. You can use it for things that aren't business. Like I'll send a DM to an artist that I really like. Next thing you know, I'm backstage at their show because they answer and they're like, hey, man,
Yeah.
So it's like you said earlier, it's, if nothing else, the greatest networking tool on the planet.
For sure. Do you mess around with like LinkedIn at all? Like YouTube ads or like anything like that?
No
Instagram,
ads.
Instagram, yeah.
No, but since I got into the capital world, LinkedIn's been a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I've put zero effort into it. I don't post any content on it. But now because I'm a managing partner of a hedge fund and I'm a fund manager over here and we've got all this going on, now I'm a target. So I think, I don't know, over the past year or so, without doing anything, there's like 1,000 followers. I don't know, but I put zero effort into LinkedIn.
Yeah, interesting. So how did you kind of grow your brand? Like you went on shows, like how fast did you see growth come? Is it every show was something and then after a couple hundred shows it stacked?
Most shows were nothing. I think this is a good thing in terms of just sales and everything.
Yeah.
Like you're going to lose a whole lot more than you win and you shouldn't worry about it. You just keep showing up, right? You cannot control outcomes of anything in life. All you can control is your inputs. So yeah, I was like, all right, I'm going to pound podcasts and I'm going to raise money. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to do it. Some of those shows, most of them, nothing happened. And then I'll never forget one went pretty viral on YouTube. And I had like 30 inbound leads over the next week into my Instagram, and I raised $3 million.
Yeah.
That was the most incredible thing that ever happened. And then that relationship, several came from that, of people inbounding me, hey, will you come on my show? Will you come on my show? I've got this event. Do you want to speak? And then I'm getting into those rooms, and now we're raising more money. And it's a cascading effect of building those relationships. So, sending a DM and going on someone's show could be like your next 50 relationships.
Yeah. So the one that you're speaking of specifically surprised you by the results. It was like you did 50 shows and then on the 51st you did one and it went viral and you made $3 million from it.
Yeah, so, some of them did, some of them didn't. Some of them there was a little bit of movement. Like you just can't worry about that. It's very hard to measure the ROI of effort on social media.
Yeah.
You just have to take the Grant Cardone approach, which is just like everybody's going to know me. I'm going to pound everything constantly. And the results are going to be what they're going to be, but I'm going to make sure anyone and everyone just knows my name.
So you first build like awareness, and you build that awareness to then sell to people who actually resonate with you.
Yeah, and just build and build the following also, because I don't know what I'm going to get into next, right? Like I was doing, like we were talking about the credit card stuff, like I was doing credit stacking for a little bit, and there were tons of people that came in that were into that. And then it was, okay, now we're raising for real estate. Tons of people like that. We're raising for a trading fund, or now we're raising for a debt fund that we're about to roll out. I don't know who's in the market for that, but I just know the more hands you shake, the more money you make. It's not rocket science. You just got to show up with blind faith.
And people just come to you for like you have this now number of followers, and they just come to you for different offers. Like as you evolve, they kind of evolve with your offers.
Yeah, I get emails every day, DMs saying like, "Hey, we'll pay you to post this. We'll pay you to do that." And I've never done it, not once, because I don't want to dilute my brand to make a couple $1,000. You know. I want to keep it super, super authentic. I think that's why it works. Yeah. Just unapologetically myself. And then I just tell people what I'm doing. And if something happens, then that's great.
Okay. So what's after Instagram? Is there going to be Instagram 2.0? Where are we going next? Like, where's the next social status for the next decade?
It's a great question. I mean, I think it's really all of them. It's TikTok, it's YouTube, it's Instagram. It's not that one's more efficient than the other. It's where do you feel like you can show up the most authentically? What vibes with you the most? That's why I don't really touch the other platforms. I went all in on Instagram, and that's good for me. There's people who have done that with TikTok, and there's people who are on everything. You know, I'm sure I could get a lot more reach if I would invest more in the other platforms. But I just want to do it all myself and keep it authentic and use minimal help. Like I write every piece of copy. I put up all my own stories. I put up all my own posts, everything. And I think that's a lot of why it's successful.
Cool. And then like these people that you're engaging with, they probably want a lot from you. You probably get like a lot of requests for you. How do you politely tell someone no?
That was hard in the beginning. But now it's like, it depends how you approach it. A lot of people are getting left on red. Like it just, I can't care about it anymore. You know, like if you don't come correct with your approach, you just get left on red.
What about if I am really serious about my inquiry to you and I try a second time? Is that like needy, or like how does that come?
There's people that'll DM me
for sure
50 times without me answering.
And
then I just block them eventually. They're just pests, you know. They're in that old school mentality of just like keep hammering. That's just, it's not social media. It's genuine conversations and talking to people. So if you're not going to do that, don't DM me, because it's not going to work.
Gotcha. All right. And then in terms of like producing content, like, are you just repurposing podcast clips? Are you going into a studio, or you have some space at your house where you're getting in front of the camera to deliver shorts? Talk to me about that, your content strategy.
Yeah, no, it's doing this. Most of the content that comes out on my page is other people's shows and collaborated content. And then I'll shoot. So for instance, Dustin Hillis, the president of Safe Space, Scott Boroff, the CEO of Safe Space, we come to the Greatness Factory in Nashville, and we'll do a session like this where it's not a podcast, but it's like a podcast for an hour, where I'll just ask them questions. You know, and then we'll chop up the clips, and then it gets collaborated across the Safe Space page, their personal brand and mine. So now it's like we're leveraging each other's brands to just pump out content. So, but no, I don't have a studio at my house. If I was going to do it, I would rent a studio like this. I have no interest in investing all the capital into having my own when I can just rent it by the hour. Like it's just a low friction process for me. So, that's kind of it.
Nice. I'm gonna do something at my house. Like I do some like YouTube smart home reviews. So I'm gonna set up like a little mini content studio at my house. But like for this, like the podcast, like it's way less personable to have you come here than it is to my house. Like that might be a little bit sus to have people come to your house. You know.
Maybe for some people. But, I don't know. Nothing really weirds me out.
But it's cool. You know, this has a sign on the door. As one of my friends came when he came here, he said, "Oh shit, there's a sign on the door. It's a real business." Yeah, dude. But Sticky Paw Studios, I mean, it's come a long way. This is now the Sunrise Podcast Network officially. But,
oh, okay.
Yeah. So in terms of you going on people's shows, like, is there ever a time, I'm sure there has been, where it's just like not a fit? Like you're like, what am I doing here? Or
Not usually.
At least once, though? Come on now.
I'm trying to think of a bad show. Like, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been that podcast mansion here. Have you heard about that?
No.
Yeah. So there's
Tell us.
There's a podcast mansion. It's in Henderson.
Yeah.
Not the greatest venue, backdrop, and all that. There's some good shows out of there. So I don't know. I guess the only thing I could say, like improvement wise, like the set could be better.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't know that's a thing. I'm gonna have to look into these people.
Yeah. It's Bill Walsh and his group owns that.
Nice.
But I think it's more of I don't end up in those because in the scheduling process, if I don't like the vibe, again, I'm just out.
Yeah.
Like another thing that kind of bothers me is when people are way too proud of their show, like where they want you to fill out a 50-page intake form or something. Like I'm just not going to do it. Like it's fine. Like if I have to do that and my Instagram page is not enough for to want me on your show, or if they're like, how many episodes have you listened to? That's my favorite one. Yeah. I'm leaving you on red. Like when you want me to go invest 3 hours to see if I qualify to come on your podcast? Like, again, I think you missed the whole point of this is building relationships.
Yeah. That's fascinating. Like, that's a good way to put it. I mean, everyone has a different way, and I'm sure they've evolved to that way for a specific reason. But I like that you leave that on red. Like, that doesn't fit your qualifications. Like, I'm not jumping through your hoops. Like, I'm happy to meet you in the middle for each other's frame. Like, you don't have to come directly into my frame, but I'm not like doing that for you.
Yeah, or people that like they want you to travel and do that. It's like, how much of my time do you need to do a 1-hour podcast?
Right.
Or like a pre-show.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, like those I'll do if it's a big show.
Yeah.
The pre-show thing, the call ahead of it to see if it's a good fit. I get people screening like that. Yeah. Totally fine with a phone call or a 15-minute Zoom to see if it's a good fit to come on your show. But, don't give me homework.
Yeah. Who was I just listening to that has a pre-show like questionnaire and it's crazy. I was like, that was doing a lot. I mean, that's why coming to a podcast studio, it's like pretty much all set up, like good to go, push the button and we're good to go.
Yeah.
In terms of how you divide your time, like where are you putting your time these days in terms of all your different business ventures?
Yeah, it's interesting because the roles that I have are pretty tight, and there's a lot of support in all the businesses. That's one thing that I've kind of made a core value now is I got to have great partners and great seats so that I can just do what I'm great at.
Yeah.
So let's say Pitch Equity Fund, we got Coach Michael Burt that's speaking on stages. He's one of the best speakers in the country, generating tons of leads that come in, and I'm raising the capital from those leads, right? So there's got to be a lead generation engine. I could be the greatest capital raiser in the world, but if I don't have leads, it doesn't work, right? And then it's like, cool, I got leads, but I need the best deals in the world because people aren't going to invest unless the deal's great. And that's what Scott does. He's one of the best investment bankers out of Wall Street gone private,
Yeah.
So those two partners allow me to flourish in what I do. And then same thing with Cody and Sergio in the marketing business and also at Kearns Capital. It's the same dynamic there. I just do what I'm great at.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I mean, you get people brought to you and you're able to have that discussion with them and provide the solution to their problem.
Yeah.
That's your main role. That's your expertise.
Yep.
So you're sales and marketing.
Yep, essentially. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's either coming through my social media or from, a stage or whatever our funnels are for different businesses. But like the marketing business is 100% organic. That's just 3 guys pounding their social media. That's it.
Do you ever fear, risk, violating Instagram terms of service in terms of anything like that? Are you familiar with, how they limit sort of outreach strategy, anything like that?
Yeah, exactly. So you can't go over 25 outbound DMs a day. If you do
at all.
No, if you do, you'll get flagged. You'll get restricted.
Yeah.
It's usually a slap on the wrist, like, hey, for 24 hours you can't send a DM.
Yeah.
It also goes with following people, right? So we're only going to do 25 a day because our strategy is we follow the person first, we like and comment on some of their content, then we send a DM. That's the number one thing that I look at when someone sends me a DM. If you're not following me, I'm not answering you.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know it's
follow back. Is that what you're looking for? That follow back button? Like if you go to their page and they've sent you a DM, it says follow back.
Right. If it doesn't say follow back, I know it's probably
hitting you up, spammy.
Yeah. It's like, No, at least be interested before being interesting.
Yeah.
Like that's also why before we DM, like we're gonna go to your content that you worked really hard putting out and go support you, right? Like again, it's like, are you building a relationship?
But
Or are you just trying to sell something?
I can even tell when people do that to me. Like I followed someone the other day and they went to my page, liked a couple things, and then like DM'd me. And I almost felt like this is like a robot, you know? Like I feel like that's not authentic.
But you followed them though?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean,
different.
that's their response thing. I mean, that's their game. That's how they run their business. No shame in that. But like, I can feel that. Like I don't even want to get into what I was. About to say.
Here's another thing though, right? A lot of these people aren't going to answer the DM.
Yeah.
You know what else we do? Now we're following our target.
Yeah.
So when their stuff's coming up every day in the feed, my manager is liking and commenting. We continue to support.
Yeah.
We go through all the stories, hit the love button.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be so present in your notifications. There's not a day going to go by that you're not seeing my face and my name.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like I've seen you speak publicly about that, and I feel like I know you've done that. Like I'm not gonna put you on blast like that, but I think that's a relevant strategy in the modern world, right? If like and you have a strategy to not do that to every one of the stories, correct? It's like if I post 4, maybe it's 1 out of the 4, but I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, usually we're just gonna do one of them.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes when I do it, I'll just love click, like next.
What
next
if you
thing.
do the wrong one? What if you're posting? What if it's my shirtless picture? Are you supporting that? Like,
Yeah, because I
what
don't,
if it's sus? Like,
don't care.
don't care?
No, because
Yeah.
I see the bigger picture. Like
Yeah.
if you this is something in sales and business. If you care about micro things like that, or like what if it's an old friend, or what if you can't cannibalize what works because there's going to be things that are inconvenient.
Yeah. And then in terms of like brand, are you still trying to grow? I mean, you still are trying to grow, correct?
Yeah, I'm growing. You know, like it's interesting because you lose followers too. Once you get bigger, like there's a lot of unfollows, right? Which is great. I'm getting rid of the people who were never going to buy from me anyways.
Yeah.
So there will be months where I'm net negative, but I have a nice like 2,000 to 3,000 growth of people who do want to be
Fresh
in the brand.
people, new people.
So that's something I tell people too. Is like they're like, I'm losing followers. I'm like, calm down.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, look at how many you did get.
Yeah.
So what if you're net negative that month? That's not important. It's the new people coming in that are interested. If you see nobody coming in and all drop off, that's a problem.
Yeah. That means you're posting something terrible and not a good polarizing.
Yeah, you're pissing people off, or you know.
And then do you have areas of content that you shy away from, like politics? Like, do you ever?
Yeah, I don't post anything political.
Yeah. Like, do you kind of stay talking about ideas that you're interested in? Like, I don't want to call them PG related topics, but like finance, social media, things like that. Or you speak your mind?
I pretty much speak my mind.
Yeah.
Unapologetically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the more authentic you are, the more you strengthen your tribe. And if someone doesn't like it, they unfollow. That's great. Like in the beginning, when you're building a brand, it's going to happen. Like you're going to have a lot of friction. It's going to feel weird. People are going to comment and be angry about certain things, especially if you go in the political route.
Yeah.
And during COVID, I did that, and I had a lot of negative energy coming into the brand, which didn't make me feel good, and it was bad for my energy. And I'm like, this is not productive. It's like, I don't even work in politics. It has no benefit to me one way or the other. Why am I even thinking about it?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, all the time I'll get, privately fired up about something in politics and then remind myself, this has nothing to do with me. I have no control over it. Any energy at all focused on it is a complete waste for the missions that do matter.
Yeah. I'm surprised that you're not taking advantage of the close friends feature on Instagram.
Yeah, I've been pitched that a bunch. Like you can turn your whole following into close friends.
Yeah, I got this buddy that does like social status coaching. His name is Luke G. Crow. He's like he's former RSD, if you know what that is, Real Social Dynamics. But he uses the close friend strategy, and he's always popping up first in my feed. And like, I feel like it works.
Yeah, maybe I should do it.
It's kind of gimmicky, but like, Instagram is a gimmick.
It is. You know what? That's a competitive advantage. You should do it.
Yeah, it's a tool. I think it's crazy that how much we can talk about Instagram. Like that's been a large portion of this conversation. But really, Instagram is. I spend at least an hour a day on Instagram. I don't know.
Mine's definitely worse.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. If I pull up the screen time, it's gonna be bad.
I mean, where the money's coming from. It's like it's addicting in so many different ways. I mean, like there's just so much going on Instagram.
So I think in the last week, I've spent 24 hours on Instagram.
That's a lot. So
24 divided by 7.
3 a day.
Yeah, you're better at quick math than me. Yeah, 3.4 hours a day I spent on Instagram. So yeah, that is me sending all of those DMs. And people ask me that all the time, and then I fire a selfie video. I'm like, that's me.
Yeah. And then are you like, people are just trying to talk a lot though. Yeah. And how do it could probably get exhausting when the sales conversation is a month. Yeah. Or that's relationships for you.
Yeah. I don't even audit it. I don't care. Like, if it's a good fit for you, great. If it's not, great. Still want to know you, still want to be friends with you.
How many people are you blocking?
Not very many.
Nah, you don't have people.
A couple a week.
Dude, okay, so Wes Watson, right? He spoke at your event, dude. Yeah. So he gets trolled on the internet so much after this Fresh and Fit event. It's very sad, honestly.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, dude. That guy gets trolled more than anyone I know now.
It's a huge honor to be put up on some of these pages where, some of the biggest players in their spaces are. I mean, to me, if people aren't hating on you and you're not hated at a level where it makes some noise or that there's some hit pieces on you, those are the first signs of success.
Yeah,
it's really true.
For sure. Hey, we're getting pretty close for wrapping on time today. Is there anything you want to plug, anything you want to share with the social media audience watching? Now's your time.
Yeah, I think if you're an accredited investor, we didn't talk much about investing, but if you're an accredited investor, it means that you have the ability to invest in private deals, right? And we have a bunch of those. We've got equity deals in real estate. We've got a debt fund if you want monthly cash flow. So we'd love to talk to anybody that's a accredited investor, or if you want to, work towards becoming one, you want to learn about it. Happy to meet with anybody, and talk about that stuff. And then on the public side of things, Safe Space Global, the stock is SSGC. We are working towards applying to uplist onto the New York Stock Exchange, and we've checked every single box, fully audited and reported. We have the round lot shareholders. We have the shareholder equity. Everything is set to uplist except a $2 stock price. So that's what we're working on right now. Hit $2 a share, and then you'll see your boy ring the bell on CNBC later this year.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, I mean, that's been incredible. I think one of the things I'm proud of for this show is that, we didn't talk too much about the money thing of what you're doing. I think probably when you go on a lot of these shows, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably refreshing for you. I mean, it's been refreshing for me to talk Instagram game. I think Instagram is such a tool. I mean, Instagram has changed my life. Instagram has changed your life. We have this relationship because of Instagram. We're going to do many other things because of Instagram in our future. So it's just cool to talk about that. Like I said, I'm doing some photo upgrades with my buddy David this week. So I'm excited to post the results of that and post the results of this podcast as well. So I think that's all good. If you're all good, we'll go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, brother. It's been great having you. I really enjoyed this conversation.
You too.
Cool. So this has been episode 23 of Elevation with Chris Orem, the show where we talk to individuals who have climbed the ladder of success. I want to thank everyone for watching and listening to this episode, and we'll go ahead and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.